Afrobeats Intelligence Podcast.
Afrobeats Intelligence, democratizing African music.
For you, more than anything, you're someone that came from, you pulled it out of the mud.
Real, to be honest.
I remember one of the earliest, I think, shine you started getting was, I still remember that video of you in a boat.
Yeah, singing in the canoe.
In the canoe, yes.
I think my story has been able to gather together, based off the experiences like I've, been able to experience like over time. And when you say the mud, how I picture it is more like from, scratches, just scratching the surface, trying to find, something worth it.
Yeah.
I was first grew up in Bagada.
Yeah.
And then my parents moved to Moe.
All your life you've been in Bagada.
Yeah, for like a healthy part of my childhood.
Okay.
You feel me? I moved to Moe at around like 10, 11.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to school in Ogun State. But, the difference was Bagada was a lot more, I could see a lot more. There was a whole lot happening in the environment. But when I moved to Moe, it was a lot more rural. So in that place, it's very hard to dream. You feel me? Especially I'll probably try and take you guys there sometime. But if you go there, especially where I was staying, it's more like a village. You feel me? So to everybody around, like, we're the affluent ones.
Yeah.
You feel me? But we're just regular middle class people.
You generally like rural Nigeria. If you're not, if you transplant yourself from the city to rural Nigeria, even though you have the basic level of comfort,
literally,
people consider you rich.
Real, because you hear me talking and you be like, in Willie Lane. You feel me? So it was a whole different thing. So there was times I saw myself having to come to Lagos just to feel something. Like, it's more like over there, it's like there's nothing. So, that's my perception of, just the mud per se, you feel me?
Did that fuck with you?
To be honest,
that transition.
I was very insecure.
Okay.
At a very earlier stage, because I went to some of the best schools. Yeah. So it's like I had to meet with some of the best kids.
Sure.
From different backgrounds. And I wasn't that guy. Yet. You feel me? So every time I always somewhat felt like inferior. Whenever they're having like certain conversations or like talking like certain stuff. You feel me? So especially when I put it out to some of my friends that I wanted to make music. So it was more like, this guy, So it's like, how do you like how, So especially off where I was coming from, and I didn't feel like I was going to fit in. Yeah. But I was just more confident on the fact that, it was what I wanted, and I felt like it was a dream I could, achieve. And so like sometimes it messed with me, my background or where I was coming from or my environment, compared to like where my friends or the people I was relating with, were coming from. So sometimes that switch of, city boy to village, coming to university. I've been going from Moe to Babcock.
That's a huge leap, man.
Yeah, man. It's wild because, they'll ask me, where are you staying? I have to lie to you that I'm in Lagos. You feel me? So you almost feel like, I'm reachable.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it was a whole thing at the time, but
does some of your people know that you lived in Moe? Did anybody from school follow you home?
Nobody ever followed me home per se, but some people knew. It was more like, okay, where are you dropping off? Oh, I'm dropping off at Moe. Oh, do you stay in Moe? Yeah, I stay in Moe. It was cool. But it wasn't a case of uprightly, if you weren't my person, you feel me, I wouldn't necessarily tell you, I stay in Moe. I would be too shy to say that. I'll probably tell you I stay somewhere close, very like Berger or something. You feel me?
I lived in rural Nigeria for a year, somewhere in a bouyant state.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere around when I was, I think, 8, 9. I was in a boarding state, and after someone that grew up in Port Harcourt, I went to a boarding state, and I absolutely hated that village. To be honest,
There was nothing.
It felt like life moved at a slower pace than everywhere else. The people were poor.
It was like every day I felt like that in a way.
The people were poor, and you can aspire to anything there in those sort of spaces, especially when you're working, when you want to do a job that's very public facing.
Yes, exactly. Like it's to them, it's a reach.
Yeah,
you know, it's more like how.
True.
But eventually, like, how do you really want to do it around here? You know, so I think it's nice, or it's good for you to have the mental picture of, you know, seeing better for yourself.
Yeah,
You know, always having hope for, you know, a better time or a better future. It's the only way you can actually get out of that space, because sometimes like it weighs down on you, and then you decide to, you know, just be a product of what exactly is around you.
true.
Yeah.
And for you, were you ever? What were the fun parts? What made it make sense? What parts would you say, okay, I held on to this, or this was something I loved there?
You know, like, if anything, it was the, you know, the difference in it. I mean, the dynamic, more like the dynamic in living. It's like there, the people they're more interested to hear you.
Okay.
You know, it's more like, oh, he's the smarter guy. Like, you know, let him talk. So it sort of it had this, it helped with, like, you know, relating with like people around, in a sense whereby I had a little bit of regard.
Yeah.
You understand? But at the same time, what I also enjoyed was the fact that, you know, nobody was judging anybody. You know, it wasn't a case of you have more than I do, or it was I have this wealth and I'm going to oppress you with it. No, none of that. Like, there was a sense of togetherness. You know, like,
Community.
everybody knew somebody. Everybody knew each other in some way.
Yeah.
You know, there was real community. You feel me? So, yeah, that was basically what I missed from there, because like most of the people that liked you really liked you.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
True.
it wasn't a thing of, oh, it was mixed or anything. You feel me? So that was what I missed, because in the bigger cities, you know, everybody's all about their own.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's not like anybody's coming to check on. There were times like probably we wouldn't come out of the house for a while, and then people come to the house to check, like, oh, you guys okay, or this type of stuff. But you don't get that in the cities.
No, you don't.
You don't. So yeah,
You don't. Even Lagos still has like a piece of that.
a little bit.
A little.
Maybe like estate communities.
True. But I for most of August, I spent most of August in London, and I couldn't wait to come back home. And one of the reasons why was because it felt like people didn't want to see each other. Nobody was talking to each other. Nobody was having a conversation. Everybody was just
walking.
Yes. You know, you don't just get stuck in a place with people and you like, maybe you're waiting, two of us are waiting for something now.
Yeah, we can have a casual conversation.
Yeah, you can't. Half the time, you can't even ask the guy on the street smoking cigarettes to pass you
a cigarette. You know, it's wild, because like I also feel the same way whenever I go on tour.
Yeah.
You know, it's like these are not the same set of people like I necessarily go out with. So it's like whenever somebody really wants to take me out, no matter how, you know, friendly or cordial that they're trying to be, I would always have like some reservation based on like, it's probably not my vibe, or they don't party like my friends do. You know, it's, you know, I always have this thing going on. But oftentimes, you know, I've been trying to adjust to it. So because sometimes I realize like these people are just waiting for a little tick. You know, it's more like if you actually reach out, like, oh, yo, what's up? Could you pass me a stick? Because it happens, because they won't ask you.
Yeah,
obviously. So if you do reach out, yeah, it kind of breaks that ice.
That ice.
Feel.
There was a lot of ice. It was too thick. It was too thick. Like, yeah, and I went to do all the touristy things. Like I took rides. I ate at lots of restaurants. Even went on a cruise. Went to the
so you have the feel of community, but still it's lacking.
Yes, within that space, we might be four enjoying this ride. It's nobody's talking to each other.
4 people enjoying the ride out of 82 people in there. You feel me? That type of feel. It's not.
But do you still go back to Moe?
Yes, mainly because I'm about to move my parents away. I'm trying to get them a place in Chevron. But it's I go back to Moe every time I have to see them. Or like anytime I'm out of the country and I come back in, I have to go to Moe just to, see my parents and whatnot. But if anything, it's like I miss the community or the, the freedom. I don't think I have the same freedom as I did have back then, to be able to go out and like just sit down, outside, with my friends and, whatnot, and think everything is sweet and nobody knows me and everybody's still going to let everything go on the way it's supposed to. Meanwhile, no. So it's like, I could go back to my way, but I can't go back the same person. You feel me?
Does that in any way suck?
Well, lately, it's been sucking. I can't even lie. Lately it's been sucking because it's like, like I miss my anonymous life.
Do you?
I didn't think I was going to. I feel like keep the money in my pocket and let everybody just forget what I look like for now. It gets like that on some days.
Okay.
You want it when you have a show.
Okay.
You want everybody to know that, you have a show and gather at one place and so you can perform and it's great.
Yeah.
But I don't want it when I'm at the barbershop or when I'm at the gym. Like you see, one of the reasons why I can't use every gym in Lagos is the more reason why, like, you go into one and it's a
problem. It becomes a carnival. Well,
it's a whole thing.
But did you think you were going to? Okay, you said you didn't know you were, but at the start, was it not? People sell that thing, fame, popularity, the people putting you on a pedestal, and everyone like trying to know you and like you, and have you.
Initially, it's a big rush.
In what way?
So I give you this categorically. Like if you know, I've come off on some controversial period of like, dragging like certain like artists based off the fact that, at the time, firstly I'm in, SS3 or going to 100 level.
Yeah.
It's more like I'm young, I have free data, I have cheap data. It's more like I need attention. I'm looking for a rush, mainly because like there isn't so much going on for me at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like anything that could get me, up to a certain level whereby I feel like, people know who I am. It entices me, mainly because you're in university.
Yeah.
You're lonely, especially when you come into 100 level.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of people don't know. If you don't have friends, you tend to look outwards on the internet or probably like anywhere else for, companionship, mainly because being lonely is a very terrible thing. But yeah, if it's in a case of back then, I wasn't, I was looking forward to blowing up mainly because of, damn, like a lot of people know me.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, I'll be, popular or something. But it's not
your music and your style, your music would move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even before I started making music, it was always this thing of you needed to be somebody. Everybody has this notion of you have to be somebody in life, even if you want to be a doctor or whatever. You have to be somebody, but
you have to be outstanding.
Yeah, but music has always been something that I loved for music, from being a child and everything. I got into university and I stopped rapping.
Yeah.
Mainly because a lot of people were way better than I was,
Oh, so you're also pragmatic.
Yeah. So I like to view things for the way they are. If there is if I feel like there is a certain competition, like, I started off, writing at 11, just rhyming,
Yeah.
putting little rhymes like this and that. And I was rapping, you know. And then I got into the choir, started singing.
Yeah.
Going to university, and I noticed that there's a lot of rappers.
Yeah.
And I can't keep up. Mainly because they were way better than I was.
But did you also look at the market, like the market size for rap then? Or was hip hop then, did hip hop look like, was hip hop blowing then? Was it in its rawest form?
Hip hop at the time, who was really doing it for me at the time? I think at the time it was MI
Yeah.
and Nato C.
Yeah. The Kenny Big Deal era,
you
One
feel me?
Naira
Yeah.
era.
So that was the era whereby, you know, it was coming with a lot of swag. But at the same time, also at that time, the American, you know, culture, the hip hop culture was also coming into the country at a full-fledged, you know.
Yes.
That was when we started hearing J. Cole more, we started hearing Drake more, we started hearing a lot of, so it was kind of clashing because now it's more like people are hearing a little more refined hip hop,
Yeah.
in some sense, and then like the country one, the one that's actually in the country, they're trying to step it up,
To get to that
you know,
level.
get to that level. You feel me? And so it became a thing of me like, do I really want to join this market of people trying to step up,
Yeah.
or I want to create a niche for myself or create a part for myself? And so that was even the year I started listening to a lot of Burna.
Okay.
Burna Boy was something that it was a breath of fresh air at the time because this was like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
You know, so at the time I felt like, you know, there was more I could do with my vocals more than, you know, just rapping. You know, so yeah, that's the more reason why like I decided to, you know, be more dynamic with it.
And, you know, you finally pursued this for a while. Even when you left school, were you already singing in Babcock?
Yes. I mean, I wasn't putting out music professionally, but I could sing. You know.
How were you showing the skill off? How did people know that you could sing? Were you singing in class? Were you doing all of that?
So first, initially, I was in the choir.
Okay, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and then I don't know why I used to do this at sometimes, but at church, you know, when like we used to have like little church meetings in school.
Yeah.
You know, in Babcock at the time. And bro, probably during like testimony time, I'll come out and sing for no reason. Just on some gratitude. Maybe I'm feeling good. Probably I just aced a class or I aced the subject or something. I just feel inspired and I'll come out and sing. So sometimes in the church, it's like, bro, you can sing, but why are you not in choir? I was like, nah, man, I'm not about that. I think it was Corley, you know, when I was doing like my IT in like 300 level.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was listening to a lot more people on like SoundCloud, Odunsi, David Melly, Santi, Fashino, you know, the Lady Donleys, and, you know.
So you were listening to Donley, Fashino.
We're listening to like literally, you know, Lady Donley, David Melly, Fashino,
Odunsi.
you know, Odunsi, Santi.
Yes.
You know, Amare. It was
through
for me,
SoundCloud
you
a
know,
lot there.
yeah. At the time, it's like, who are you guys? And
Okay.
you guys sound young, you feel young, you look young, and you guys are really putting out music and actually growing a little community for yourselves. Because at the time, people were having 1,000 and something followers, and I was like, what? You know, it's like 5,000 followers. Like what? Like what? Like how? You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing 98 followers on probably, you know, some other stuff I'm trying to, probably my main social media page, you feel me? So at the time, it's like, how do you people do that? You know? And I was more of interested, you know, in, you know, getting there. And so like, off listening and trying to see what the sound is like right now, because at the time it was alternative.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't what you were going to walk into the club and hear.
Yeah.
You know, it was something that you had to source for.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
it's an acquired taste.
Yes, you feel me? Like I want to listen to this, like sushi.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True. You really would want to eat this.
You really would want to eat it before you like, rah.
Yeah.
You know, so I was really interested in it. And so like while I was doing IT in 2017, I was more focused on music. Like I was just listening and writing. You know, at the time I was, you know, I fancied the style of writing. You know, there was more storytelling involved, especially because I was listening to Burna, I was listening to these alternative guys too.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, there's people are flexing now. Like, you know,
But what was striking about it?
it was the fact that it was more arranged.
Okay.
You know, like people had more to say.
True.
You know, it's like
People give themselves space to talk.
Yeah, you feel me? I was used to the Afro pop side of things. You know, because I grew up on the band Jolly Maintain Nice.
Yeah.
You know, before I started finding Olamide and the guys. You know, but it was a thing of most of the time the topics were very, you know, minute, like
They were limited.
Yeah, feel me? It was too limited. It's like,
And very hedonistic.
It's like you can't. They only relate to who they relate to.
True.
You know, you don't know anything about the younger guys. Is that what you're saying? Is it that you don't know anything more than, you know, party, flexing, and, you know, you can talk about other stuff. There's things that are actually bothering people here. So, and shout out to the people that actually used to try and put those things in probably like their body of works and whatnot. But when I found the alternative sound, it was like, and then Burna Boy, it was like, right, these people are really, they have much more to say.
Yeah.
You know, even if it might still be on the same topic, or it's just more refined. It's more refreshing. You know? So that was what stuck out for me. And it's like, I have to make something of this nature too. It's like I didn't want to make something that was, you know, not going to actually have like substance with it. You know?
I get you. And listening to your music, listening to the music you make, you are credited with a few things. A few things stick out when people talk about your music. First, everyone cannot get enough of what you do with melodies, how you find new sounds, new pockets of sound to take us to. So that's something that, and even when you work with other people also, you still find a way to improve on everything you touch. Always.
Real.
So people talk about that melody, your music acumen, and then they also talk about your writing.
I think that's what was key for me.
Yes, people talk about your writing also. They talk about how they can, from your music, like hear who you are, and you're talking to them as people. So, and it's very poetic in its own way. It has the rhyme, it has all of that, and it still has that melody. So that's where people always say this is the sweet spot for me.
Feel me? I think I'd give credit to the early stages of rapping.
Okay.
Because rap made you pay attention to your words on a higher level. More like you were compelled to say something of complexity.
Yeah.
You feel me? Especially
you're meant to think beyond
just the regular
normalcy.
Yeah, you feel me? So, you know, there was, I mean, especially when you listen to like them MIs, them Jessies, them Nados, them Ice Prince, and especially those Chalk boys at the time, it was a thing of, this is where the rapping guys, you feel me? So it's like, they'd say something and you have to go and check the word. Business. So it's like, but also it's the arrangement and the rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
You know, it's something I had to employ here. So even if the melody is sweet for me, you know, I still have to give you that element of feeling like, there's this rapper feel, you know, in it. So yeah, I try to imbibe that a lot in what I do.
And in many ways, your music sounds like an amalgamation of both.
No pun intended.
Yeah. It does, because while you embody the best of lyrical dexterity, songwriting, you know, storytelling, you know, imagery and image creation. At the same time, you still have a handle on what works
for me
popularly, even for you and for the market and outside.
Well, I think I say I'm very attentive. You know, I pay attention to what's happening outside me, and around me.
Yeah.
You know? And even inside. It's the more reason why I say 2021 was a very strategic year for me.
Yeah.
Mainly because coming off the pandemic, like I wasn't putting any music out, but I was working on my writing and my delivery again.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you work on those? What does it mean to work on your writing and delivery?
Really, it's the wordplay, you know, for at this time you'll be hearing a lot, you'll be getting a lot of beats and be jumping on a lot of beats. Not because you want to put it out. It's more like you want to test how diverse you can flow on it. So I was doing...
So it's practice.
Yes, it's real practice, really. So I was writing like 6 to 7 bars like every day, you know, just to, you know, keep up on the level whereby it's like, yeah, this is a rhyme scheme. And even if I'm not using it right now, I'll use it later on. You feel me? Certain times, it's why these days I could walk into a studio and I sort of already have what I want to sing. Yeah. Might not have the melody yet, but it's all written, you know? So...
because you've created so much, it's turned into a bank.
Yes, it's the reason why the next year, I was like, I'm going to spread that out.
Yeah.
To as much people as I could. I had a reservation with features the year before.
Why?
Mainly because I felt like I wanted to come out on my own terms. So it's like, even if I wanted to, I didn't want to be on anybody's record. I wanted to have people on my record and strategic people.
Yeah.
You know, because 2019 I had Zlatan.
Yeah.
And Zlatan he gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. And then that went on to December, where Burner actually heard Leno in the club.
Yeah.
And said, you know, I'm going to jump on Leno. So it's like, you've done Zlatan, you've done Burner. Are you really going to, you know, start jumping on other people's songs? But, you know, the pandemic year turned out, you know, differently for me, because it's like, it gave me a whole different perspective, you know? So
what perspective was that?
Because it was sort of like a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because it's like,
what was the curse?
The curse was the fact that a lot of people, like me now, and what I was dealing with, a lot of people didn't necessarily believe in, you know, putting out anything at the time, especially if you needed to spend money with it. You know, I was signed to a label, and it was a case of, this is a new artist.
Yeah.
Are we about to unveil this artist, put money on this artist without, you know, a guarantee or like a safety net? Like, we're going to make this money back based on shows or, you know, appearances. But there weren't any shows. People weren't outside. People were just inside. Mm-hmm. So it was more of like, you had to take the content or take whatever you wanted to do online, you know, to have the traction you needed. And it wasn't feasible to some people. And for me, I felt like I was ready to to come out, but, you know, based on the time, I'm still in the label. So it's like, the decision is not necessarily in my hands to come out at the time. And I can't blame anybody for not wanting to put money where they're not sure it's going to come back from. So that was the curse of the pandemic.
Because everything looked bleak there.
Yes, because it was like, rah, if I put money here, it might not come out. You feel me? But it was a blessing to some because everyone was home. So it was an opportunity for you to actually put out something and they got to listen to it. Like
I built Afrobeats Intelligence
literally
during the pandemic.
Real.
Everybody was just home, and I was just driving from house to house. People were happy to see you.
See, it was real because and
people were happy to consume this because it gave them something from the outside.
It made them feel like they were inside. Yeah, you know, the same feel. You understand? So, I felt like that was what the pandemic, you know, had and brought. So it's like the new year, I was more on. Okay.
How did you take advantage of that? The blessings,
you know, I won't say I took advantage of it to the fullest extent, but I took advantage of the time I had, you know, the time that I had to myself. You know, I wasn't letting anything like slide. You know, every experience I had to jot it down. You know, kind of create like melodies from it or create like word experiences from it. So it's like, when you're going through my notes and like you're seeing like stuff like that, the next year I'm like, if there's any record I can be on, I'm gonna jump on it. Yeah. You know, just so those melodies and those lines or those experiences don't waste.
And were you free by then?
Yes, I was. I think my contract was supposed to be for a year.
Okay.
And so like I was excited because, you know, I thought like I was ready.
Okay.
I really felt like I was ready to take it on another level. And so yeah, that's why I was making all those decisions on my own.
So when your contract expired, did you consider going back? Did you consider renewal?
No, I never for once like considered renewing for one because, you know, I felt like creatively I was ready to, you know, come outside. You know, I was ready to spread. You know, I felt like I had learned everything I needed to learn, especially like, you know, watching Burner record,
Yeah.
how he delivers, like, you know, it was something like, yeah, I studied this, like, yeah, I could do this now. You know, I could deliver properly on records now, you know, on a level whereby it's like, I think now is the right time to take charge of my career.
Because you learned.
Yeah, I had learned everything that needed to be learned, you know, musically.
And for you, like looking at this from a personal place, when you began to fully go into the music, you said you listened to a lot of Burna Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
now the first deal you had was with
Burner.
Spaceship Records.
It was mind blowing. I didn't even see. You see, I think that it played a huge role in me signing the contract.
That's it was emotional for you too.
Yes, you know,
It was a dream come true.
real. You know, I think it was even biased for me for a level because it's like the notion to be independent was very key till I met Burna.
Okay.
It was like that was the only person I could ever pen down for, you know. So it was like, especially I didn't look at the money involved, the contract.
Yeah.
I was more about the relationship. Although I had amazing lawyers that made sure my contract was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it wasn't about like the signing fee or whatever. I was more on, this is the biggest artist in Africa right now. So, and I want to tap in on a level whereby I could see things from his side, like from his point of view, and understand the level he's operating at. You know, I could learn from how he records. Because the whole time Burna was making the Grammy-winning album Twice as Tall, I was there.
Yeah.
You know, it was an amazing experience because like I was watching from track 1 to, you know, everything, even the ones that didn't even come out. You know, so that was the more reason why I signed. That was the essence of signing. You know, that was my joy, the closeness and the
opportunity.
the opportunity to be able to, you know, be in the same space
An experience
this Burna real.
Yes.
This person that sort of shaped my musical essence, you know. So, you know, because Burna was making Afro-fusion. It was like a mix of everything, but still maintaining that African essence, you know, that African elements in it. So that was what stuck out for me.
He speaks his language.
Yeah.
And delivers like himself.
Yeah, you feel me? So it was something I felt that was beautiful, and I wanted to tap into it. So it's why when the opportunity to even sign came, I didn't budge.
And the relationship now, how is it?
Great. Because I mean, you know, he's somebody I still see whenever he comes to Lagos.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we still maintain an amazing relationship because, you know, it's the music that we both fell in love with. You know, that was what brought both of us together. And I don't think we can separate just because the music is always still going to be there.
True. And so this happened for you, and after a year and you were free. You weren't scared at all?
To be honest, like I always heard about how it gets crazy and difficult for everybody else, but I felt like I had done everything obligatory to do.
Okay.
You know, like I delivered.
So everyone gave you their blessings.
You know, it was more like I wouldn't say everyone, but the people that mattered.
Okay.
You feel me? To me, it was more like I needed to talk to Burna, and if Burna says yes, I'm good.
Okay. And he gave his blessing.
Yeah, Burna was totally okay because I wouldn't say him on the level of like, yo, OG, you know, I love you, and it's a case of you've never started me for music of music for a year before, you know. So it's like, and I'm a huge fan, so it's like I can't do that to my fan base anymore.
Yeah,
You feel me? So it was a case of I didn't put out enough music in a year, just put out one song. So it was like, rah, I need to do better. You feel me? So that was the more reason why I like had to dip. And he saw it for what it was, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I give you my blessing. Let's go.
I think you need water.
Yeah. Ishmael, please tell me roll the joint. There's gas in my room.
So going into this industry, beyond them, you knew your destiny was in your hands now.
Bro.
What was key for you at that point? What was key? What was your central objective then?
To be honest, I was broke. You know, it's relative, but being in a position whereby you don't have any financial leverage, puts you in a space whereby you're searching for the deepest of ways to come out of it.
You're vulnerable.
You feel me? I think I think that's very. It's okay, mainly because I think before my mom died, she made me feel like it was okay to do that. Yeah, so it was. I've always had this thing of, you know, things have to go this way, and sometimes when it doesn't go my way, you know, I tend to like, you know, just break down or whatnot. And I realized at some point my dad would see some stuff like that and be like, yo, that's terrible. Like scold me for it. But my mom was like, yeah, you know, you can pause, break down and whatnot, but just don't make it, you know, your thing.
Yeah.
So, especially when I took that hiatus, it was like, could I come back from this break that I didn't necessarily impose on myself?
Yeah.
You know, there were a whole lot of stuff that was going through my mind. Aside the fact that I knew like I was always going to be great and I was going to make music that was going to change my life forever. It's like there were some obstacles that were thrown at me at those very crucial points in my life, because I was just coming off 2019. I dropped Spiritual, I dropped Learn Remix. So it's like, what's left? Why is there still so much silence?
Yeah.
You know, that was like, it was a problem for me, you know? And if the money wasn't coming in, so it's like, rah, I need to get back out there, you know? So it was one of the things that pushed me, you know? It influenced so much because I got, you know, it was different because while I was at home, somebody would give me food to eat and whatnot, and because it's my house, isn't it? But when I was outside, a lot more outside, it's like I had to graft for it. So it's like if I didn't have money, I wasn't going to tell my guy's mom to start making me food.
No.
You feel me? So it's like I have to look for a way to get food, whatever way. So it influenced a lot of my mental because
so rent was due.
Really, you know, like when really in the sense rent was really due. You know, I had my back against the wall, so it's like, yo, like, and to date, it's like I always keep that mentality.
Yeah,
you know, just that little insecurity, like rah.
It makes you stay hungry.
Yeah, it's like I can't go back to the, you know, feeling like, you know, there's nothing. It's always like I just always have to stay guided, you know. So yeah.
And so, what did those collaboration runs, that phenomenal run that you had, what did it do for you?
Very instrumental. So I start with Bling.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful record.
Yeah, I decided to connect on Bling mainly because they were my type of people.
In what sense? What made them your type of people?
It was Black Bones and it was Amare. They were alternative, but it was fresh. There was something fresh to it. So you see, Black Bones was coming off as a rapper, but with something more refreshing. He's braggadocious and, you know,
And you say you've used this word now, but if I use this word, they drag me on Twitter.
No, it's a real no. I don't know why people. I don't know why.
Yes, they dragged me on Twitter for using this word, but it's not a bad word.
It's not a bad word. Like no, real. Like it's more of like an aura.
Yes.
You know, it's not the. Sometimes it's what happens on songs. It's a rapper thing. It's supposed to be. It comes with what rappers. You know, it's why rappers go on records whereby there's 6 rappers on there and one rapper is still telling the other rapper, "I'm the best rapper in the world." You know, but there's other 6 people that are on the same track rapping.
Yeah,
you know, so it's not like you're dissing them or saying whatever to them. It's more like you're just owning your thing. So I think that's what stuck out for me for Black Bones, because it's like, yo, I think I like this confidence you have with it, because bro, and he was very everywhere with his music. You know, he took his art very personally.
Yeah,
you know, so anything to get the music out there, he was involved in it like 1000%. So that was what stuck out for me. And then Amare, her vocals, like I said, I was listening to, Amare at a very early stage, especially when I was still trying to find the sound. So it's like, it's alternative, it's new, it's fresh, it's beautiful, it's sweet. So I felt like that was a perfect, spot for me to blend.
And you went in.
Yeah.
And for me, let me see if I could pull it up.
Tell me, say you know go run away. Wait, see anytime I dey for holiday, I'm with my guys and you know they. Baby, tell me, sure you got it. If money no dey for my pocket, I got this all to say, I just want to say to you. You see the space, I say features for you.
You were so natural.
real. Like, I think it was. I think I loved the record so much, especially when I just recorded it. So it was the first song I decided to actually hop on for the year. It's like, it was refreshing for me. It was I really loved this. One of my favorite records till date.
You saw the magic it was doing.
Super
for you.
Instrumental. Like I said, like when the song dropped, Black Bones did what Black Bones does.
Yeah,
it's more like
he went very hard.
Like
on
he's more like he was gonna die on there. So I remember what stuck out was the fact that it was when we were number 1 on the Apple Music charts.
Yeah,
and because Burner just dropped.
Yeah,
and Burner just dropped Kilometer. I was just coming off Burner's label.
Yeah,
so it was crazy to hit that number 1.
Yeah,
where on a level whereby my former label has no choice but to see it.
Yeah.
It's like he's involved on this song.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Let's keep it rolling. And that was an amazing one. And then I went on to the studio. I think like 2 days afterwards when the Bling had gone number 1. And then that was when I met Ladipo. And that day, I just come off the label and just trying to find my footing. So I wasn't the happiest of people, but we just went number 1, And so that was how we were in the studio.
Did that give you confidence?
Yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence. I had to sing about it, And that was how Feeling came about. And then Feeling now.
You guys were just at the studio.
Yeah, because like I came into the studio and he was working on something.
Yeah.
In fact, I even jumped on what he was working on. So, but that didn't come out yet. And, Andre was just playing the beat, the producer. And I heard the beat to Feeling. And I'm like, rah, it's provoking. The beat it has this essence of feel good music. You feel me? So I was excited about the beat. And so I decided I laid the hook on it. And Ladipo did his thing. And that transcended into something phenomenal. Mainly because I think it was accepted here and in the UK. And like I said, I was very strategic about how I was doing the features. Ladipo was signed to Maven, one of the strongest powerhouses around.
So they have marketing power.
So they were going to get me to the places where my money couldn't get me.
True.
You understand? So it's like, I didn't have money to do what I wanted to do. So it's like, I'd rather give people the music to push it. So it was very strategic for me. That's why the features were very monumental. And then going off that to actually now dropping my own single Outside, which solidified the sense of, oh, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? And if I didn't put out those features the way I did, people might not necessarily have paid attention to the lead single as much.
And all through this run, one thing you did was, and there's something that I liked a lot about how you use social media, especially Twitter, and you blow your trumpet.
Real.
Like you own your narrative.
Real. I feel like it's something I needed to okay, my manager told me this from a very early stage of my career. So he said, to make it or keep it going in this game, like, you have to have something they know you for aside the music. You feel me? You can, like, it has to be a personality thing and it has to be the music. So it's a case of, you know, this Buju guy is always going to say, he's going to blow his trumpet and say his mind. Because who else is going to do it for him? You feel
Nobody.
me? So, exactly. So it's like, I'm always going to be at the forefront of tooting my horn and telling you, yo, I'm this guy. I'm the guy. You feel me? So it's like, pay attention to what exactly I'm saying. At the same time, making the music as great to back up the claim. Yeah. You know, it's a whole different thing. Especially when if you can talk it, you should be able to back it. It's why, like, tomorrow night I respect Burna Boy any day. You feel me? So it's like, talk about it, be about it, and, you know, let it show in the music still.
How important is knowing the contribution he's had in not just in co-signing you, but actually working with you? How important, like today, now you're flying high, you are doing things that are beyond reason. And how important is his approval?
Real, very majorly big, because he gave me a whole different perspective to how to make music. As much as people, I don't know if people can really relate to it, but I listen to Burna Boy judiciously, like he was the Bible. So the Life album was an album that changed my perspective of how to really make music, you know? And the Life album and Ice Prince Zamani's, what's the name of the album? Fire of Zamani.
Fire of Zamani.
I don't know why people don't talk about that project a lot.
See, I don't know. I love that album.
That album, I don't know. I don't know if wherever I supposed to scratch it and bring it up.
What was your best record
in my life? There were too many. If I Pray, there was like, if I Pray, on top say I pray. There were too many songs. Like, Ice Prince took me on a journey in that project, and he didn't even know, you know. So at the time, you see Live album by Burna Boy, and you see that Fire of Zamani album where the real. Yo, so yeah, Joey just tuned You see this song? This song took me. You know what's funny is when this song dropped, I wasn't smoking. I didn't know what I didn't get the full concept of it till I started smoking. It's like, oh, that's what you people were on about.
Yes.
And you say it blew my mind because I enjoyed the song so much even before I could understand what it was about. So damn. So yeah,
this was one of the
fucking out the worst way. Like a marathon. But she goes swallow some. Boom, shoot like a gun. No. When me write some DJ, just a DJ no they carry me play. That's me what I feel, no be today. And I tell you say my guy you don't play. No, this is prime Burna.
Yes.
This one, you see, the burn of 2012, 2013, he was like, he was starving. It was
Yes.
like he didn't have anywhere to live.
Yes.
You know, like, it's why, like, anytime I hear, like, music, like Burner from that era, he blows my mind. You know, because he called everything. Like, you know, it was amazing. It was amazing. I can't even lie. Amazing thing.
Like, moving forward, when did you finally begin to think you had found solid footing?
I think,
Where you didn't feel so exposed anymore? And what made you start feeling that way?
to be honest, I just recently started feeling that way.
In what sense?
Well, you know, I was still very much open to a whole lot, you know, last year. So when my last project dropped, Sorry I'm Late,
Yeah.
I was paying attention to everything. As much as I was enjoying the whole buzz of, you know, I just dropped an EP and it's doing, you know, subsequently well, I was more on, you know, how could I make this project better? You know, it's like, I felt like the project was great, but it was begging,
Okay.
like, for so much more.
Okay.
You know, it was a whole run of features that were amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I dropped a project that people know is amazing, mainly because of the songwriting, the lyricism, and everything. But it's like, I felt like it was still begging, mainly because of the production, the engineering, and, you know, the topics and the story I wanted to, the message I wanted to pass across. So I passed across the message very well, but it's like, there was more.
Yeah.
So it's like, I couldn't say I'd solidly found it yet till I started working on my new project. And so it was a project of big self-reflection.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you? What are you about? And it's one of the reasons why I had to change my name, you know? Because a lot of people felt like it was on some external basis, but it was more internal. It's like, it was the need for authenticity,
Okay.
you know?
So it came from a personal place
Yeah.
first,
Yes.
before it became a business decision.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you feel me? So, because Buju is beauty underneath, just understood, but it is native Jamaican for breadfruit.
Yeah.
That's what it means, breadfruit, bro.
Beauty underneath.
Just understood.
Just
Now, What I
understood.
mean by that is, like, at the period where I just realized my talent was amazing, this was like 2017.
Yeah.
I knew I could sing all this while, you know. But when I realized, like, yo, I could record and change my life if I literally just decided to. That was when I understood the essence of it. That's when I understood, like, how beautiful what I had was.
Yeah.
Just the more reason beauty underneath, just understood. It's always been there. It's just that I didn't really understand what it was about. You feel me? I was just singing because I sounded nice, you know? It was more like, yo, there's more to this, that you change your life and the lives of the people around you if you would take this seriously.
Yeah.
And that was what it stuck out for me. That's why I gave the name Buju more meaning. So it was great rocking with it 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. But I realized, like, if you walk down the streets of Jamaica, you can see like 30 people with the name Buju just because you're chubby,
Yeah.
you know, because it's a nickname.
Okay.
And it didn't sit well with me. You know, everything today that matters in the world, you know, is a name.
Yeah.
You know, like Joey Akan, like Louis Vuitton, like
Yeah.
Tom Ford, like, you know, there's everything just that really matters has to stick with a name. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, starting off my project last year and calling my, like, with my real name, Daniel Benson,
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I'm going to use Benson, like my surname,
Yeah.
as my name to maintain authenticity. But I'm going to write it down differently, mainly because of how aesthetically pleasing it is to write,
Yeah.
because of how I write it anyway. But when I changed the name, like, I felt the whole, like a reborn, like a rebirth, like, okay, I want to make significance with this. you know, it's the reason why I had to start again with like a feature on again.
Yeah.
You know, so when the name first came out, when I first put it out there, a lot of people had their reservations. Like, like look at this guy. You have such an amazing. You are going so amazing. Which one is?
See, I understood what you were trying. I understood what it was from a commercial perspective, because that was the perspective I had. But at the same time, we also clowned it like, give me like Malam, give me 2 Benson switch.
Don't kiss it because it's like rap. Come on, bro.
Like you gotta clown it. Say that's the only way.
To be honest,
that's the only way those things go viral.
To be honest, you know, I enjoyed.
An event. It turned into an event.
And you know, people started comparing it to when Nepa changed to PHC, and you know, like they compared it to so many things.
Yeah.
You know, like
it was such an event.
It's like yo, and for me, things like that always stick because they will never forget it. It will always be a thing of, oh shit, look at when this guy changed his name and everybody was going crazy. But I was key on letting people understand like it was beyond the name change. The music was only going to get better.
Yeah.
And the quality was not going to drop. You know, and that's when Finesse came out. So like Finesse was one of the grandest opportunities like I had. You know, I could have done for anybody. Mainly because like Phils was a producer that I just dropped, you know, was just dropping hits on hits with like several people. So for him to be confident to say he wants to put out his own music, he's always very skeptical.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some producers say they want to sing and it's not always it. Till I saw the snippet like he put up on his Instagram story. And I'm like, yo, this hook sounds so fire.
Yeah.
You feel me? And at the time, I just changed my name, you know, just enjoying the buzz of everything. But, yo, this hook is amazing. And then he's like, yo, jump on it. At the time, at that time, we weren't doing verses for free.
Yeah.
You know, like we were putting like a proper chat to it or we're not doing it at all. You know, but I heard it and I was like, this is an amazing song, and I feel like if I contribute to this song, we could actually take it like beyond to another level.
Yeah.
And so like he came over and we made the song, and that's like my most streamed record right now.
Beautiful.
Real, because like it was a real you know connection. And it was a way for me to propagate the name on a different level.
Yeah.
You know, so you'd have to look like, okay, who's this BNXN guy? If you haven't seen him before or heard of him before, and then you go now, you're not checking this rap. It's Buju.
Yeah.
The same guy I knew from that time, but now it's more refined.
Yeah.
I'm putting in the elements of the rapper guy that used to rap before. So I'm delivering flows on a lot more faster pace, and you know, it's kind of changed how I actually like, you know, deliver on songs now, you know. So, I mean, everything was just needed, you know. So I've just been more, you know, focused on not just the name or anything. It's just making sure the sound and everything that's coming with it is new. You feel me? So yeah.
And having a record like Finesse, what does that do to you as an artist? Having a record that big, what does that do to you as an artist?
It's an amazing feat. It's more like I'm more concerned for Phils. You know, it's like I need people to know that he's more amazing than just that song.
Yeah.
Because I've heard like 3 to 4 hooks from Phils that are mind-blowing. You know, it's like, but I don't want people to tie his success or how good he is or how talented he is to just the success of Finesse. It's what happens when you actually have a big song.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people try to forget the essence of who exactly you are or how dope you are. You know, so Finesse is amazing for me, but it's not my stopping point. It's more like I need more, you know. And at the same time, there needs to be more dynamic to it, you know. I I make the song for you to party to.
Yeah.
I also need to make the song for you to chill to and just relax to and just, have a session to, So, the perks of a big song are very, very, very high because like you could sleep and say, you know what, this song is gonna ride forever, but it might not,
Yeah.
So every day you just have to always look at it like, yeah, it's just one tick in the box and you have to look for the next one.
You're very honest with yourself.
Real.
Like from pragmatism.
Yeah, real.
Like you know, like you don't lie to yourself.
Real. Like, I mean, it's mainly because there's just nothing. There's nothing to hide from myself again. I like to tell myself, yo, this is how it is. Especially if I know it's gonna work for me.
Yeah.
To my advantage. I take, I'm stubborn at the same time I listen.
Okay.
Like I take constructive criticism, especially when I know like it's gonna take me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna uplift me. So I encourage every creative to be more in tune with yourselves. It helps a lot, mainly because like you'll be telling your truth in your stories or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It's why some people can attach a little bit of me in my music because I'll tell you.
Sure.
Real.
And I've seen you publicly like engage. You're not one to shy away from a conversation.
Sure.
You do not. You stick out for yourself.
Yeah.
And when you see things, when you see a wrong narrative, you come out and then you speak.
Legit.
And it feels like when you have these clashes, it's like, Buju.
How about he has come again?
He has come again.
You feel me? To some extent, like I just started understanding that I'm very confident and sometimes I'm outspoken too. But for me, it's like when I see a certain narrative being pushed about my music, especially because it's very personal to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't freestyle. I like to make sure like I know what the words I'm saying mean, and it has to mean something, It's not weird when somebody just comes and just says what they feel, about it. And I used to do that before, mainly because I didn't know what, I felt like Burna Boy was the standard, like literally, like he was making music that nobody else was making. So it's like, it's different, but I decided, till I started making music and understood there was different dynamics. There's people for different things.
Yeah.
Someone got to do the party songs. Yeah. You feel me? Someone got to do the one that's for this one.
So you had a new perspective.
Yes, I had a whole total perspective, mainly because like I'm in there now. I'm in the room. I'm in the conversation. I'm in the business. I'm seeing what exactly is going on.
You understand why things exist.
Yes, exactly why. It's the reason why they're there. So it's different because that's where I was before. You don't understand, and there's this celebrity blanket that people think is there that, when you're a celebrity, you could just cover, bullshit, but no. It's like, I like to educate you, even if it's in the most returning your energy the same way you do.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta understand that there's so much more to this. But lately I've been realizing that my manager put me on a different perspective. So firstly, being impulsive doesn't necessarily always pay, mainly because sometimes like I pay attention to the bad ones.
Yeah. And
there's like 80% love.
Yes.
And then the 20% the 20% feels like, why are you here? It's almost like I want to see my people for my people. But, I think it's what comes with the game and I need to accept it.
Yeah.
Because my manager said, have you ever walked down in the middle of the road and, or walked outside and someone came to meet you like, yo, your music is rubbish. Yo, you're mid.
See, they love the word. We love the word mid now. Like, see, bro, that word mid has started wars. That word mid has started wars.
It's like, yo, or you know,
Just come to say mid as fuck.
yeah. It's like, yo, you know, you're not doing this amount of streams, or you know, it's number one today. Nobody has ever come to meet me in a physical sense like, yo, this was good. It's always, can I take a picture? Oh, yo, my friend, I love you. So where are these people coming from?
Yeah.
It's like you need to understand that the internet, they're more prone to attention. It's more like it's a dopamine rush. It's more like anything that gets you
Literally poking the bear.
literally
For
like it's
attention.
literally it's more like you just want to see how far it could get, or how, you know, how viral you could go off either getting a response or, you know, it's probably
mostly a
getting
response.
blocked. You know, even these days, if you block somebody,
blocking is a response.
Yes,
It's a badge of
it is.
honor. Like they take screenshots and they put it up and they say something
oh,
sarcastic.
he blocked me.
He blocked me, and
It's
people are like,
bro,
oh my god, you
it's
went
like
in.
it's a whole crazy thing. It's more like, you noticed me. Okay, cool. But it's like, I get it. I mean, I'm even trying to help you, so you don't need to see me every day. So it's like, you don't. I'm not seeing your worry, but it's a thing whereby I've actually accepted now. So it's like, yeah, people are going to always have their own notion. It's more like it just shouldn't affect you and the music as much.
Bad since 97. You've been speaking about growth. That's the central theme that I follow you on social media.
Yeah.
I see how on Twitter. I see how you've constantly preached growth, that this shows you have advanced. And I kept asking that question, like, why was this growth so important to you? Why did you have such a focus on that?
I mainly focused on like growth as the theme, and literally like that's my light, you know, to navigate life, just to always grow. But on this project, it was more about, you know, showing maturity and, you know, an element of growth per se, like on the project compared to like the last project I dropped, Sorry I'm Late.
Yeah.
You know, like I wanted people to see that there's been an evolution. Like I've evolved into something, you know, that's going to be eternal, like a phoenix. So that's why it was so important for me to talk about it on this project. Like to let people know, like, oh, I'm this particular guy that is on his own side and, you know, is unstoppable. You feel me? So I wanted people to understand that I've grown from the guy that was very insecure about the sound, not knowing if it was what people wanted to hear or not.
Yeah.
You know, I've grown into somebody that is very confident about my sound, which is more like, it's not going anywhere. You feel me?
What feeds this confidence?
The acceptance, in some sense, okay, I use Sorry I'm Late as an example.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm Late was the only project still on the top 20 Nigeria albums, and it was on like number 13 from last year.
Yeah.
That means every project that dropped last year was not on the top 20 this year in albums. And I asked why. I was the only person that dropped a cohesive project. A project that you listen to the project for the project.
Yeah.
You feel me? Not because you're listening to a hit song. It's the reason why the supposed hit song that's supposed to be on the project, Kilometer, is not, compared to Never Stop. Never Stop has more streams than Kilometer.
Oh. For
So
real?
So I realized,
Never Stop?
yes, Never Stopped. You feel me?
Let's play Never Stop. Let me pull it up. Let's go.
You know, Never Stop actually like. Never Stop has more streams on Apple Music than Leno Remix Burna Boy
Had more streams than Leno Remix.
with Burna Boy. Yeah, Never Stop has more
Get off the
streams.
sheets. I say a little prayer and I burn a split because I still dey breathe. I'm on my feet. And I know tons of niggas still hoping I quit. Chica, my shit legit. Go sell me. No way I want to be, so I still dey push chica. And I don't ever feel to bring the heat.
Why do you think? Let me stop this. Why do you think Never Stop had such huge penetration?
Because it was real. It was music I made to make people feel confident about themselves. You know, it was the reason why I made songs like Never Stop is because of how I saw the impact of Outside. Making a song like Outside, like a vulnerable song, a song whereby you can sort of relate to another man's story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking about me, man, big up your chest, I swear. If you no get money, they kill idea. You feel me? So it's like, if you that knows that if you don't have money, there's several ideas of yours that probably died.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have the money to back it up.
Yeah.
So you can relate to it. And Never Stopped is more is about, you know, getting up and working no matter the situation. Like getting up and trying to get it. You feel me? It was actually inspired of listening to Corty. She's a YouTuber.
Yeah, I know Carti.
Yeah.
I worked with Carti before.
Oh, that's lit.
When she was at Empower, we shot a mini series for Empower.
Wow.
So she was the director. I was a talent.
Yeah.
And we just broke down
Wow.
lots of things in the industry.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
She apparently I was watching one of her videos and she made the statement, I've never stopped in my life, so I don't think I'll stop now. And that's like, rah. I decided to make a song of that.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's the reason why I've Never Stopped was actually made. It was to inspire people to, you know, overlook their circumstance and like strive for more and just, you know, not stop in whatever they are actually doing. You feel me? So that's why a lot of people related to it a lot more in the project. It had a huge significance to them. It's more like, yeah, this is the song that means so much to me. I'm trying to show you. Okay, so this is Never Stopped.
Whoa.
That's like, it's like the 5th biggest on Apple Music. So it goes. It's an amazing thing to see that people actually connected to that side of the music. It's why I decided to concentrate on making music that people could connect to on this new project, Benson 97.
Yeah.
You know, I've grown from looking for what appeals to the clubs or the parties or whatnot. Like, I'm more focused on what appeals to everybody.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like the one you can play in the club, the one you can play in the classroom, the one you can play anywhere, you know, for whatever function at all, you know? So, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this concept of growth. And one of the key things I think that aids connectivity is knowing how life is. Because now, to a certain degree, you're insulated. You said you don't like, certain degree you're insulated. You said you don't like aspects of it. Because you can't live a normal life.
Can't do me anymore.
Yes.
Can't do me. If I wanted to, if it was, to some extent, it's like, I'm trying to accept it. I've accepted, I have to accept it.
What do you miss the most?
My privacy. I think everybody's so intrigued with what's going on with me. It's like, I want to have like a little bit of privacy too. Like, you know, I could say something even in a public space and, you know, it's not the thing I want to see on the news. Just mainly because I want to share it doesn't necessarily mean I need it overblown out of proportion. Do you feel? Like, it's like, I could say something so simple and just because people can't understand it from the perspective I'm saying it,
yeah,
it's blown out of proportion and it's like, rah.
And people would just derive their own meaning.
Their own narrative and it's just...
And give their thought a life of its own.
Yeah, but can't you just leave me alone? Do you understand? And the only thing is you only do that because I'm somebody now.
Yes, true.
So it's some of those things I miss. Like sometimes I want to go out and it's like I love taking pictures. I love, mingling with my fans and my friends. But if you probably saw me in the mall,
Yeah.
trying to shop for something, I'm probably looking for groceries. The amount of people that want to take pictures, it's just like, damn, I don't even want to be in the mall anymore because the more they come in, like, the more I can't shop anymore.
Yeah.
The more I'm just distracted and doing it's the price I have to pay. I can't even imagine what it's like for the bigger ones who might not even go to the mall again. So for me, the growth is more in the music and the character that and I'm portraying, because like a lot has happened to me that sort of shaped me, and my character and my music too, and I wanted to show and tell in the kind of music I'm putting out right now. It's more reason why like the project Benson 97 is more central on how I have evolved,
Yeah.
From the track one, there's a whole lot of confidence, the braggadocious P, but it's still a huge sign of confidence in what I'm doing. It's like I'm bad and there's nothing you can actually do about it. Walking into Bad Man Weekend where I'm actually telling you about my insecurity of leaving the country for the first time. When I got into London, I think that was when I realized like, oh, music could actually take me this far.
Yeah.
And recorded Bad Man Weekend with TSB, who works with like J-Hus and whatnot. And that track too, it was one of those tracks that I just vent and talk about how, I've actually found my talent, I found my skill. You feel me? So then go to many ways, and bro, the whole project is super intentional. Like every song was supposed to just be there. So yeah. I mean, it's just evident that there's a whole lot of evolution with me and my person. So that's really what this project is about.
And for you, you think like making your music such an integral part of your existence, like you experience making your music such an integral part of your existence. You experience life, you turn it into song. You experience life, you gain new perspective, you turn it into song.
Yeah.
Isn't that too much intersection? Don't you think there's an interdependence there?
Well, it's mainly I like to see myself as a storyteller.
Okay.
I just want to tell stories to the best of my abilities. So like you can understand things from different perspectives, even if you've actually not experienced it. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's why like I was saying stuff like, as long as the show was in my copy, never finish. It's enough feel like I talk and finish. If you won't give me 1 minute, I convince you I'm that go. You automatically put yourself in a position of you talking to a girl.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody. Like what? You singing the lyrics, you see yourself or you see me.
Yeah.
In a position whereby I'm speaking to somebody, like I'm, legit toasting somebody. So it's all those kind of things, as simple as it is. You can picture the story, you can picture the experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's happened to you before, where you try to talk to somebody and then it's like, damn, as in, answer me now, don't let your friend whine me. Just because, you feel me? So it's something that I want to be able to connect with people, So whatever happens to me, I turn it into music as much as possible. Even if I don't turn it into a song,
yeah,
I like to just write about it. So if I turn it into a bar or a line on a song, it means something to me. I could tell you how this line came about. There was this one time I used a line, Sogunogoji.
Yeah.
Now, so I heard the word Sogundogoji from Q Dot.
Yeah.
Q Dot is like an Opala
Yes.
artist.
Yes.
So he sings. Now, like, firstly, for somebody that I'm not necessarily a Yoruba boy, but it's like I listen to a lot of Yoruba infused music just to have that feel of how the pronunciation goes and how they flow.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Apala New School, one of Q-Dot's records, and that's where I heard the word Sogundogoji. Now, Sogundogoji means turning 20 to 40.
Okay. Compounding.
It's like betting, it's like doubling.
Doubling, yeah.
So it's like a game whereby you do like try to double your money. You feel me? So it was wild for me to hear something like that, and I was like, I think I can implement it in my song. It's one of the reasons why I did a song called Mind Games, and I was like, you make me so good. Yeah, exactly. It's like I could relate to it. So whenever you hear that, you almost imagine the betting scene, like, oh, you betting because you want to take your babe out or something.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, forever, anything I learn or anything that literally intrigues me, I'm always going to put it in music. Yeah.
And in that way, you stay real.
Yeah.
You stay grounded in your growth, in your human experience.
Because it's the only way to be authentic, like to deliver authenticity to the fullest. That's why I changed the name too. You feel me? So everything is going to be authentic from now on. Like, it's something, if you hear it in the song, it's something that happened or it has meaning. You know, you just probably need to ask. Understand?
When I look at the project, I see, yes, let me even take this from a wider perspective. When I look at your story, I look at Buju's trajectory. I see like major places where I can say, okay, this caused a spike, that caused a spike, this caused a spike. And, you know, you've spoken about Burna Boy and how instrumental he is.
Yes.
To your journey.
Yeah.
Well, another spike I can see also in your journey is when you went sideways across the pond and worked with Wizkid. So what you did on the deluxe of Made in Lagos.
That was very special. That was very, very special. I think it changed a lot for me, mainly because, you know, I was coming off, you know, just adjusting to like loving the kind of music he was making.
Okay.
You know, like from Sound from the Other Side, I saw Wiz in a whole different light.
Yeah.
Do you feel me? Before Sound on the Other
You
Side,
mean he was looking ahead?
Yes, like I knew, like, oh, he sees it now. Do you feel me? Like, he's like a visionary. Like, he knows, like, this is where the sound is going. Yeah. Do you feel me? So it's like, I loved it. So when he reached out on Instagram, like, I was super surprised. Like, it's like, how could he connect to it? How did he connect to my music? So it kind of made me see that, yes, I think we're on the same wavelength. Do you feel? Then I met him, and then, you know, he was playing me. He said he came into Lagos to work on his Deluxe project. Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, Deluxe was made in Lagos. Lagos is crazy.
but you know, a key part of, I think, what has made Wizkid successful is that he actually studies the market. He's in tune. Yes, he follows everything. He follows it all. Like, he's really, 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 like, connected. And so he knows what to do.
To be honest, it's like, well, and it's very calculated with it. So it's like, it's not necessarily because Zazu is on the streets, he's going to jump on Zazu.
Nah, not
so it's more like it has to connect with what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? So when we made Mood came out, like, it's so amazing. Like, the fact that the Deluxe was nominated for the Grammy, like, was a mind-blowing thing. Because I did not see that coming. So it was a case of, was it going to be a case of it's just one song? Or one song just literally like does the whole thing and we don't work anymore? Because I had that fear too. Because, it gets like that where it's just like, oh, it's just a one song, one type. But bro, the relationship like grew beyond, that. And then like,
Because he's a real person.
oh, really? Because, bro, performed at the O2 twice. It's wild because, like, to give you that kind of opportunity. Because, I mean, it was a really big one for me. And subsequently still went on to record more songs, He came into Lagos and reached out that he was in Lagos, that I should come over to work. And that was where we recorded Many Ways. I mean, that was where I played him Many Ways, and then he requested I send it over to him, and then he recorded on it. And yeah, my relationship with Wiz has just been so, substantial to my growth, because like I feel like he put me out in a different light. Because before made Lagos Dealers Drop, like he put out a couple of tweets where it was like, Buju is one of one. And bro, that's like, it stuck out for me because like it's real. It's all I've ever chased, just to be on my level, on a level whereby I stand out for me. It's like you can't hear anybody delivering at that level.
And how much of all of this growth, this journey, has been down to you having the freedom of independence, where you can make your decision, move on the go, stay mobile, and just keep moving, like making sure you're always delivering without
100,000%. Everything.
No
career,
layoff, bureaucracy. You're just going.
My career right now and the success of my career is based off the fact that I am independent. It's based off the fact that I could literally make a creative decision and let it fly right now. It's without having to. I listen to my team very well because like I really believe in my team a lot. But it's also like I could make decisions like without having to necessarily beg for permission.
Yeah.
You
can control your destiny.
Yes, I could control my destiny and my work.
Yeah.
I could decide this is the type of sound I want to make today. If it's not just because it's not profiting you doesn't mean, it's not a sound that people,
beneficial.
Yeah, you feel me? Like it's not a sound that people will connect to. You feel me? That's what labels suffer sometimes. Just try other stuff. Like, cause I'm a piano playing in the club doesn't mean like your artist got to make them a piano.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So it's why being true to yourself plays so much of a huge role. You understand? So independence is so key. Like for my career, like for my success rate.
Yeah.
Because as a creative, like you have different ideas every day. Sometimes the ideas are eccentric. So it's like, do you agree? Or as in, can you see what I'm saying? If you can't see what I'm saying, I'll look mad to you. I look like, what's this guy say? If you ever meet TJ Murray, when TJ Murray is explaining his videos to you.
I've met him. He was on the podcast.
Bro, if he's explaining his video concepts to you without like giving you a treatment, you think he's mad. Because the ideas are eccentric, they're exciting, and it's like if you don't necessarily connect, it'll look like a dream, a fantasy. It'll look like a facade,
He's turned Ashake into a meme.
It's turned Ashake into everything. It's more like you can't associate Ashake's music with any other video, like a video director. Like you almost like, oh, there's a new Ashake song. Please let him go and give it to TG, shoot it. Or did he shoot it with TG? Do you understand? Because they're in sync. They actually understand the aesthetics, you know, on how to actually present the artist. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why like I respect the both of them. Their work is crazy.
TJ Mori he's one of those people I respect. I respect who he is. I respect what he's been able to do. You know, I met him a long time ago before he became who he was.
Well,
So my friend gave him the opportunity for his first ever video. So seeing what he's been able to do, how he's been able to take his chances. He's been such a weird guy. Self-taught.
literally.
Self-taught. But he just had the craziest ideas. And he's such a real person. He's very pragmatic too.
Amazing guy.
So-
Amazing guy.
And for you, you've been able to take these chances. You've been able to take these risks, and a number of them have paid off. For Bad since 97, did you
Take any risk per se?
Yeah, you took some risk having
Really?
having to make this. It's risk taken.
I took a lot of risks for this one.
What's the most obvious risk you took?
To be honest, for me, might not have been a lot obvious to a lot of people, but it was trying to show people a dynamic to the tone I could deliver in. You know, I found myself delivering in like lower tones, like lower registers,
Yeah.
compared to how I always sing before. You know, like songs like Bad Man Wicked. It was experimental on a level whereby how do people perceive this? You know, songs like Lose Emotion, it's like,
Yeah.
don't do it for me no more, you know. It's like you've never heard me in that light before. So that was a risk, which is like people need to know that, okay, yes, you can actually hit in that note too. Also, the need for additional production.
You started your exploration into the metaverse. Now you're doing
Listening parties.
Heads by Benson.
Legit.
I was at your last listening where the metaverse listening, where people went through your NFT collection. There was a chance to mint
Proper.
whatever you want, and there are benefits to owning one of those heads, and even the metaverse that you can interact with people and be a part of a community. Why did you decide to explore that?
Well, innovation has always been something I've always been interested in. Mainly, maybe it's because of how fascinating it is to me, I started computer science technology, but it's like I never got to ever put it into practice or, anything at all. So when my friends brought the idea of like, turning my imagery into like, non-fungible tokens, like, NFTs, it was something I was like, it was an idea I wasn't really open to it at the first instance because like I didn't get it, and then like there was a lot more elaboration. I got more understanding, like a clearer view of how like it actually works and how it could actually help in building the community I really wanted to build, with fans that are core and genuine and on a level whereby I could connect with them and bridge that gap between like artists and, fan base, you feel me? So we decided to create like utilities on there that could help them, get access to shows and merch. And
in what sense? Walk me through that.
Well, so the main cruise of Heads by Benson is community. So it's like we have a Discord. It has over like 8,000 subscribers at the moment.
Yeah.
And our main aim is literally like about pushing, the community of people that actually like love my music and everything I'm about.
Yeah.
And helping them just ease through social life. Yeah. So for every show that they will actually want to go to, they let the Discord know. And it's automatically sorted. It just depends on how much heads you have in your wallet. The more the heads, the better the seat. But if you have even one head, you have access to the show, even if it's just a regular ticket.
Yeah.
You feel me? You get access to that show, any show in the country at all. And from anywhere that you are, you just need to put it there on the Discord that, yo, this is the show I want to be at. This is, the detail and everything. And it'll be sorted out for you. And
Nice.
we also do like community like link up. So I've taken a couple members for dinners, we just have dinner, we just chill, just talk about what's going on with their life. It's always amazing because they never think it's possible. It's always like, how do you want to see Buju, or how do you want to meet him? But I've been able to bridge that gap for a couple of people who have, just made music and, made making music and propagating music a lot easier, which is the fans. And it's the best way I could actually give back to them. It's why I decided to tap in like that. And if you notice, like, the minds of the people that are actually in this space are very young. Everybody is, innovative. They're looking at futuristic stuff,
Yeah.
everything that might not necessarily matter now, but will matter in like years to come. So yeah, I'm just trying to tap in as early as possible because I feel like this is going to be so big in a few years. The metaverse, crypto, and everything else, So I want to be at the forefront of it. It's the reason why I actually decided to key into it and, do it. So yeah.
Beautiful. And, I shared pictures of your listening, and then Meta, like Facebook, they liked it and responded.
Real.
So when I said Buju is bringing exciting things to the metaverse, have you guys had any like official communication?
Well, I think the guys, I've forgotten their names. They reached out on Instagram, but like we'll probably work on something if we're open, because I'm very open to, connecting and taking this on a whole different level, whereby, there's more.
Yeah.
Imagine we could do like medical grants, for people that actually have the heads, cover your medical experience, like your expenses, just like a health insurance type of fee.
Yeah.
You feel me? We actually always, as a community, we actually even keep funds for like, like the same, where we got to hold the listening party is called a play space.
Yeah.
So we actually bought that, in the metaverse.
Nice.
A space whereby people just come there so they can hear just us.
Nice.
So yeah, over time it's going to be developing. At the time, during the listening party, it was still, a little blanks, colors here, but subsequently, like, we'll keep building like furnitures here and there, turning it into a whole living experience. So it's almost like you walk into like a building,
Yeah.
that, has chairs, everything but it's all in the metaverse, and you feel like you're even inside it. So it's innovating, and I mean, I'm just excited for it. Trust.
That's
Very.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I know a lot of people are trying to explore this in multiple markets, but you seem to have had a hold on this. You guys have your Twitter spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Community is very key.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I'm so open to the teamwork, especially with the people on my team. Like, they're young and vibrant, and they're always coming up with ideas. So yeah, it's a project I have so much faith in. Trust.
Yeah. And when you consider that and then look into how your project has been received, how much of that is down to community?
Everything. It's like for the music to get to where it's supposed to get to, I feel like people have to share it.
Okay.
People always have to share it. People play such an important role in the propagation. It's like it's not a fluke sometimes when you see some things happen. It's because people actually got in tune with it and they actually made it happen. Like with the recent success of Benson 97, it's like I saw this project, peak number 6 in Apple Music. I was seeing Americans, artists that, the project passed on the charts to peak number 6 and peaking number 4 in the UK. It works on algorithm. Like who is playing who, like what are they playing right now, and it turns out it's the project they're playing. So it goes a long way to say there's people that you know connect to this music that we don't even know on a daily basis, you know, and the only way you can reach them is via community. You know, some are not even on social media.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the ones that are on social media that are able to tell them that, yo, there's this guy and he's bad. So open your phone and download him, you know? So all those things, you know, it plays such a huge role, you feel me? So community is so key, you feel me? Because you have to build this sort of bond and trust with your people.
Yeah.
So even when it's like, it's rocky or probably there's no music or anything, you know that you're solid. It's what like you have with like Wiz now. Wiz could go a year without dropping music right now, and it'll be like, yeah, it's Wiz. And the day it drops, oh shit, you know, it's a whole thing. So community is very, very key. Very, very key.
And do you think you faced adversity? Like, because you've been in the news also recently.
Adversity is like, it depends, because me, like, I don't necessarily channel all my energy there.
Okay.
You know, it's more like, I mean, people make their comparisons. Can't die on it.
You can control it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they use to promote the sport.
Yeah.
It's why music sometimes is like sports. So it's like, how do you know who's the better guy if you don't necessarily compare them or their achievements? But sometimes it doesn't always work that way. So adversity is not a thing for me. I'm more focused on like music, you know, and, you know, making music and propagating music and literally beating my own record. You feel me? It's like right now, I have to make a project that's going to go past what, you know, Benson 97 has actually achieved. So adversity is cool. Like it's normal in the game. You know, there's people that might not necessarily want. To me, I see it as people that want what you want but don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Or want what you have rather, but don't know how to say it. So it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. And you've come this far. You've done all of this. And you've gotten to this point where this is the highest point you've ever been at in your career.
Yes.
And you're still working because there's so much that you can be.
Still so hungry. Very hungry.
What do you want out of all of this for yourself? Like,
legendary status, like a legacy. I need a standpoint whereby it's like, you know, I need to be above or achieve more than everybody I've looked up to. You know, in the first instance, it's more like I wanted to work with everybody I've looked up to.
Yeah.
You know, everybody that their music had influenced me. By the grace of God, I have. Maybe not fully on the foreign scene, full-fledged.
Yeah.
You feel me? But on the local scene, African scene, I have. You know. And on the international scene, I've ticked some boxes.
Yeah.
You feel me? But there's still a few more, and trust me, it's just a few. Really few that I want to tick. But, you know, what I want to gain from all this at the end of the day, you know, longevity, legacy that, you know, it's unshaken and it's glaring, it's right there. That I came in, I defied a lot of odds, because there's a lot of things like I feel like there's a lot of things that are thrown at me or were thrown at me that if they were thrown at anybody else, they would have broken, you know. And it's like, I want people to see me as that overcoming factor, on the level whereby, yo, you defined all the odds, like, you feel me? It's not the regular thing you just see.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I need to achieve way more than the people that I actually looked up to, so that I'm at the top of the hill and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing else. You know, like Drake status. Imagine bigger than Drake status. You should know that's another level.
But it's like chasing something that doesn't exist. There's no way on earth that, because
it's different.
I think the mill keeps grinding, time keeps marching on.
Everything keeps happening. But
and there's no way you would ever get to a point where you've done more than everyone else in music. I don't.
To be honest,
For me, I don't think so, because
it's great to
it keeps
dream.
expanding. You know, that's why I say it's a great thing to
Yeah.
to dream, to achieve.
Yeah.
Because the target keeps moving.
To be honest, like everything keeps moving and keeps evolving.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like you shoot for the sky. You actually aim for the moon. You know, but you might land in the stars or something. But the truth is, really, anything is possible. As much as, like, it just takes one factor sometimes. It could take two. It could take three. It could take a shift in the soundscape.
Yeah.
You see, like what Love Wantity was able to achieve at the time. You see, when the music was just made fresh, when it was just Love Wantity at instance, a lot of people didn't know or see the substance in there to see that it could connect to people that are listening to a whole different thing, you know, with the Oriental or the Asian, the Indian thing with the
Yeah.
amazing. But it might not connect here because some will say, oh, a little too repetitive,
Yeah.
or a little too lazy. No, bro, like I called the sound that, yo, this is an amazing song.
Yeah.
And I feel it was gonna do amazing. Maybe not in the country at the time, but you know, trust. And it's now one of the most streamed songs in Africa. But you need to know that it is possible to even go way beyond that. You know, because bro, there's like about 8 billion people in the world right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can touch that now. You can touch it.
True.
You can touch it.
And that
You feel me?
continues to change. So, Afrobeats to the world, like seeing how much influence we've come to have, seeing how much attention is in here, how the pipelines have been built to export our creation into the global framework. How does that inform the way you work? Has that in any way played a role?
Afrobeats to the world, you know, that tag, I feel like we're crossing there, where really it's one of the, it's the directive, it's the motive, because it's like taking what we have here on a global stages, on a global platform. But I wouldn't necessarily say like it influences how I make my music.
Okay.
I say I make my music to be more relatable to everybody. It's beyond Afrobeats. You feel me? Like it's why I adopt the genre Afro-fusion.
Yeah.
It is not binding to just one aspect. It's an umbrella that takes everybody inside.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you would always find that African element there. You know, it's like I'll be singing an R&B song and you'd hear me still throw some Yoruba inside there, or, you know, the percussions will still be, you know, African themed or something. It's just maintaining the African ingredient, the African culture,
Yeah.
in whatever genre you're trying to even, you know, jump on or mess with or play with. And that's how the genre works, you know, because it could be reggae. It could be reggae that you're hearing.
Yeah.
Sing your reggae thing and then still say your Yoruba there, or speak your African dialect there. You know, it's just put it in there to show that yes, there is heritage somewhere. You feel me? That's why I feel like I can't say I'm making music as just Afrobeats now and taking it to the world. No. I'm making very inclusive music, like music that everybody should adopt to, like everybody should listen to. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm not even pressured by trying to make a song that I'm expecting that is going to blow up today. Do you think that pressure is just too much? If I'm looking like, oh, I need to make a Love Wantity, I need to make a Buga, I need to do any of that. No, I just want to make music at my own pace, because I saw what happened with Finesse.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, yeah, Finesse was not supposed to be a club song. It's it's just a feel good, nice record.
It's cruise.
Yeah, and they started playing it in clubs. Do you dig? So it's like, and it just went up. You know, it's like everybody just connects to what connects to them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, I'm not pressured by doing anything. I'm just working at my pace and enjoying, the work. And
do you think there's been an element of spite in how you have moved?
Spite in a sense
of
putting out features, or
no, like I'll show you. Like
I'll show you. Well, to be honest, it depends on what drives you. Like what drives me is more motivational.
Okay.
Like it's more about looking around me and seeing that I've bettered everybody's life.
Okay.
That's what really drives me. Like the I'll show you factor is not on some, I've never been on some, it's more of I'll show the world.
Okay.
You feel me? It's like there's nothing I'm looking at. It's more like I want everything to look at me.
Okay.
That's exactly what it's like at this point. Even though like it's affecting my life, my private life and whatnot, but it's like I want everything to look at me, everything to tune to what I'm saying and what I'm doing, because that's all that matters. Because it's like I can't show anybody, man. I'm trying to show myself that I could do it. You feel me? I'm trying to show that you could dream and make it happen. But I told you, like, it wasn't easy saying I wanted to make music to friends of mine.
Yeah.
Back then, which is not crazy, because like if I decided to listen to the ones that said, nah man, you can't make it, like you're this guy or that guy, you're not, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Probably would have been way worse. So yeah, that's just been my own focus, because every move I make is more about being a better version of the guy I was yesterday. Yeah. It's not a level of competition or anything. I'm more focused on me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madon.
Yeah. Yes. This is 2 hours of
pure vibes.
Yes. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for doing this. So Batson's 97.
Mm-hmm. Out now
by Benson. With that FKA.
Formerly known as. Apparently, like, Apple Music only puts it there because they're going to change it very soon. Apparently, it's a thing. It's just a thing to switch, just to show that it was this guy before.
It's in transition.
Yeah, so it takes about, they said from when I changed the name, it was supposed to take like about 9 months.
Yeah.
So in a few months, it'll be off and then it'll be just Buju, like BNXN.
Benson.
It was just Benson, so yeah, that's it.
Was it hard to like adopt mentally?
Well, not really. It's just my name. It's just how I had to write it now, and how people had to, it's like how Black said, "Don't call me 6 lakh."
Yeah, that constant struggle.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you wrote it as 6 lakh though. Like, you feel me? So me, I can't tell you don't call me BNXN or call me Benson.
Yeah.
And it's like, but bro, you wrote it as BNXN. I mean, so that's just how it is. Though. I'm just
well done.
Thank you so much.
Well done for giving so much of yourself.
Thank you so
to
much.
the world. Thank you. Doing that can only come from a place of generosity. Generosity of spirit. Wanting to create to give people something.
Yeah.
And in the end, you get rewarded for it. Like you do it right and play all the variables right. If you play them right, you get it done right. High risk, high reward. And so far, you have nailed it at every point of the way.
Thank you so much, Manji.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Definitely.
Batson's 97.
Yeah.